Hey guys, what's going on? Brian Martin here with your Manchester United Daily News Show. Yes, we are in the international break. It is boring. It is boring. It is boring, but I am right there with you. I will help you get through it. I do have for you today an interesting article from ESPN FC, which I will discuss later. But let's go ahead and get into it. But before we get into it, actually, if you could please hit that like button, please subscribe if you are new. We are on the road to 100. We are halfway there, people. Halfway there. Be part of BMU history. Make the little boy in me happy. This would be amazing if we could get to 100. Please, please, please do your part. Please help me out. Anyway, here we go. So transfer news. I mean, not a whole lot on that front. Onana and Bayender both need to go. Onana needs to go because of his performance, obviously, and the sheer audacity of him to ask for a new contract. Full stop. Gotta go. See you later, buddy. Bayender, he needs to go also, but he could stay. Right, at least he wants to play, and he's not Andre Onana. Okay, so he could potentially stay. Our goalkeeping core is looking like Lamens, probably Bayendir, probably Heaton. Although if Bayendir and Onana both go, it'd probably be Lamens, Heaton, and an academy player. That's what I would do. Anyway, we move on from that. Hopefully, they find a move. Malacia. Now, Tyrell Malacia. I had an interesting back and forth about this today. I've said this before. And I went on Twitter and said it as well. I responded to Deb's tweet there. He said what actually happened to Tyrell Malacia. I said that call me crazy, but I think he should stay as a rotational player. He could fill in for Dorgu when he is tired. I said I don't like Dallo coming over to the left. Someone responded and they said we have Diego Leon. Sure, good point, fair enough. But Diego Leon is like 18 years old, right? So what I see is starting in January when we get into the FA Cup matches, we can have Malacia start left wing back, which I think he would do better at than out and out left back. So Malacia starts at left wing back, and then Diego Leon comes in for the final 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so, and Dorgu gets a full rest. Again, I don't like Dallo coming over from the right side to the left side. I think he needs to stay on the right side and make sure we have ample coverage there for Ahmad or whoever plays over there, or Mazraoui or whoever. Right. So that's my 2 cents on that. But anyway, with all that said, just a reminder on the transfer windows, the Saudi Pro League window closes September 10th and the Turkish League window closes September 11th. So we still could see some movement from Malacia, from Onana, from Bayendir into those leagues. Now, jumping into some team and club news, apparently Rio Ferdinand's been talking. He's been on his Rio Presents and his other social media game lately. Big up the Rio Ferdinand, legend of the club. He has said that he is frustrated that we did not sign Harry Kane back in 2023, I believe it was. He said that that was, quote, the biggest mistake in the last 10 years. That's according to The Sun. Look, even if we signed him, he probably would have gotten, frustrated by now and left, or he would have tanked his own career and he wouldn't be in the England squad, right? So I don't know that that would have changed a whole lot. I mean, on the off chance he could have brought in some serious leadership, maybe converted a few more goals, but I don't think that would have saved us from being in a damn near relegation battle, which happened to us last season. So I hear you, Rio, on that, but I don't think that Kane would have made the biggest difference or as big of a difference as you think, although he is a phenomenal player. Also, I'm not sure if that is best for Benjamin Šeško to hear right now, right? He is trying to get his feet under him. He is trying to get going. So I don't know if it's best for a club legend to come out and say, oh, we should have had Kane instead when Šeško just came through the door. So I don't know. We'll see. Injury news. So as we said, Cunha was hurt, I think in the 30th minute against Burnley. It was his hamstring. He's pulled out of the Brazil squad. That's probably a 2 to 4 week recovery time on that injury. Like I said in previous videos, if you've had a hamstring pull, you really, really, really got to be easy with it. You cannot play through it or push through it like it's some other muscle. You have to be careful with that. Mason Mount was removed at halftime against Burnley. At the time, I didn't realize what it was for, but apparently it was a precautionary move as he felt something. We are awaiting more medical scans, more information on that injury, probably out a few weeks. So we probably won't see either of them versus City. The latest addition to the injury squad is Diogo Dalot. He has pulled out of the Portugal squad. He felt some muscle discomfort. Again, that is just what is coming out now. So not sure what the details are. Not sure how long that'll be. But we'll see. Again, that to me is a reason why we should keep Malacia around. If we are suddenly becoming short on defenders, yes, I know we've got Lisandro Martinez coming back, but you know, I think Malacia wouldn't hurt in terms of keeping our numbers up and keeping, at least some competent players in rotation. So, with all that said, that makes me wonder who we will pick against City, right? I've got some thinking to do on that one. You've got some thinking to do on that one. In fact, once you've done your thinking, get in the comments and let me know. I will do a match preview, of course, like I do for all matches for the City match. But we're probably going to be without Dallo. We'll probably be without Cunha and without Mount for those matches. Knock on wood, that's it, and there's no one else. We cannot have the injury crisis and plague hitting us so early in the season. So get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you think will be in the starting 11 against City in about 10 days' time here. So, as I mentioned earlier, I know I kept you all in suspense. The article that I read that was interesting, that was on ESPN FC, was written by Ryan O'Hanlon. Had to look at my notes to make sure I got that right. He says that Mbeumo and Cunha overperformed last season. Again, let me repeat. Ryan O'Hanlon from ESPN FC has written an article. It was something titled "The 13 Worst Transfers of This Summer." And he says that Bryan Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha overperformed last season and that they have peaked. And so while they have made us better, they've only improved us to the standard of a Fulham. No offense to Fulham. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I know I've said before that I wasn't as impressed with Mbeumo and by extension, honestly, Cunha as I thought I would be, but they've definitely improved us. We definitely look better with them. They've got more combativeness. They've got, all around, they're better than what we had before in those positions. I think once we work out a few kinks, we can get them firing and scoring goals. I'm assuming no injuries keep them out of the team for a significant amount of time. Again, I have talked previously about where I think Mbeumo's best position is, which is a bit more central and cutting in. I've also given my take on what I think the best formations for Bryan Mbeumo are. I will link that below in the description, so please check that out. It's a short, so it only takes a few seconds of your time. And yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I think Ryan O'Hanlon probably took a swing on that one and missed just a little bit. I think they've improved us a lot, and which he did admit to. He did say that. I don't think that they were anywhere near the worst signings of the summer. So I think that's a bit, sensationalistic there. If that's even a word, sensationalistic. Is that a word? I don't know. I'm making words up. Whatever. We move. So a look ahead. Again, cities who we've got coming up. We look solid against Burnley. I think we need to build on that momentum going into the City match. Again, not sure who's going to start. Please get your comments in and let me know who you think should start, and we'll start given our injury concerns right now. Again, City are 13th. After that, we've got Chelsea, who are second. We've got Brentford, who are 15th. And we've got Sunderland, who are 6th in the table. I believe we can get 10 points from this next four set of games here. After that, we've got Liverpool, which I don't feel great about, right? But let's not get too far down the road. These next four games, I think we can get 10 points, maybe 9, but I think we can get 10. I think we beat City. I think we can draw Chelsea. I think we can beat Brentford, and I think we beat Sunderland. That's what I think. So yeah, that's what I think there. Also, a side note just came to mind. That's why I paused there. Chelsea is buying everyone. On the Chelsea women's side, apparently they are purchasing or buying or bringing in, however you want to phrase it, Alyssa Thompson, who is just a phenomenal player. She's an American U.S. national team women's player. Obviously, I'm American, so I follow that. So yeah, Chelsea's is buying everybody. I mean, their squad and their rotation is insane. But anyway, let me bring it back to Manchester United. Um, so, speaking of women's football, though, just because the men's team is on international duty does not mean that the Manchester United action stops. The women take on Leicester City this Sunday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 4 a.m. Pacific Time if you are an absolute diehard on the West Coast of the United States. Let me say that again. The women's team, they play Leicester City to kick off the women's campaign. The game is 7 a.m. Eastern Time this Sunday, or again, if you are a diehard, 4 a.m. Pacific Time. So I will probably do a match preview, maybe a halftime discussion, maybe a post-game discussion on that. So please stay tuned. And in order to stay tuned, you will need to turn on your notifications so that way you know when I post a video. Quick reminders again, September 14th, we are back in action against Manchester City. So, like I said, like I've been saying, get in the comments, let me know who you think will start for that match. As always, I'll do a live preview, match preview for that. I'll do match streams, potentially, but most likely right now, I'll do a match preview. I will do a halftime live discussion, and I'll do a post game. And as always, you will have your daily news shows. So, with that said, thank you for your time, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.